Welcome to another edition of City Connector, brought to you by City TV and the City of Douglasville. We're filming right here the last Tuesday of every month at high noon in Arbor Place Mall. I am Lee Brogdon Culberson of Professional Mojo.
And I'm John Gray with Chapel Hill News and Views, and we've got a fantastic show for you today, as always. And our goal is to entertain and inform you, and we hope that we do that. We know that we will at least inform you, and we will do our best to entertain you today.
I'm the informing part. John's the entertaining part.
I think it's vice versa.
All right, you probably so. You know, September is a wonderful month to be in the city of Douglasville and all of the surrounding areas. There's so much going on.
And the weather's perfect, and there's so many activities, indoor and outdoor, but especially those outdoor activities. You really got to love them this time of the year.
Absolutely. Well, stay with us, and we will be right back with this new City Connector.
And welcome back to the City Connector, broadcasting from Arbor Place Mall the last Tuesday of every month. And we're pleased to be joined by Greg Roberts, the Maintenance and Sanitation Director for the City of Douglasville. And Greg, September is National Preparedness Month. And tell us what that means.
Well, it's for the entire nation, and it follows several years ago, as we all recall, from 2011, September 11th, 2001, September 11th, the awful tragedy of then, and it was recognized that we need to have other plans implemented throughout the nation in metropolitan areas and in rural areas to be prepared for pretty much anything that might come our way, so we know how to respond at every level.
And in this case, Georgia, as well as all the localities, are taking this very seriously, and even the governor has shared something with us.
Absolutely. He has signed the proclamation for the month of September 2013 in the state of Georgia as National Preparedness Month in Georgia. Absolutely.
And then here in the city of Douglasville, what do you do as you're getting ready and you're getting prepared for Preparedness Month?
Well, and nobody can ever be 100% ready all the time, as you might say, but we try to stay ready. We keep our equipment fueled. One of the things I say to the guys, and I even carry this same simple rule to my home, to my family. It doesn't always get listened to properly, but I treat a half a tank of fuel in the car as an empty tank. Fuel up at a half a tank, because if you get caught in a situation, weather-wise or otherwise, and you need your vehicle, if you're on empty, you're in a bad shape.
Wait a second. Did my husband call you up and ask and pay you $20 to say that while I'm standing here?
Speaking of $20, it's probably a good idea to keep $20 or a little more on you instead of just relying on debit or credit cards, because you never know when the ATM systems and everything is going to go down as well.
And it's hard to stand here and say how much that might need to be, but it probably needs to be upwards of $300 in cash.
Okay, already I don't do either one of those things, so it's good that we're having this conversation.
Absolutely.
Put X's on your.
Oh, look, he's making an X on my X marks the spot on there right now.
Three strikes, you're out.
This is also for families, for schools, for businesses. Let's talk a little bit about what each of those segments possibly can do as they're thinking about being prepared. And let's just start with your family. We've talked about gas. We've talked about having some cash on you. What else should a family be doing to stay prepared on top of things?
One thing that I would recommend, and the Georgia Emergency Management recommends, is go online and go to Ready Georgia. And one of the first sites that you'll pull up, just click on that, and that's Ready Georgia, and it will take you to one link that will link you to other sites within that program that will help you develop a personal plan. You know, there are so many things that, just like we're standing here talking today, that you don't think about, such as keeping your telephone charged. Same as the fuel in the car. I know my wife personally, her phone's always in a state of dead. And when you need that phone, that is a very vital tool. And having said that, there are so many apps for the telephone, for weather, for other emergencies, that you would get instant notifications. Here in Douglas County, you can get that. If you were to go to the Douglas County site, and you could click on there, and it provides a link for you to set up phone calls and emails and text messages, and I get all three.
Lee just got her third strike about
afraid
having
I'm
the
out
cell
of
phone
here.
charged. So
I'm afraid I'm out of here.
Lee might be out of here, so we might just have to continue on ourselves here, Greg. But tell me, in your professional opinion, what age should you start with the family preparedness? Should it just be with teenagers? And I know that people are getting cell phones at all different ages. Should it be a little bit younger? I know it can kind of create almost a panic in younger. You have to be careful when you're talking to middle schoolers or even teenagers for that matter, because you don't want to alarm them too much, but you also want to make them prepared.
Absolutely. And at the Ready Georgia site, it gives you several different stages of communication from your home as a parent, because you know your child. No one knows your child better than you. It even gives school teachers and school administrators information to prepare classroom and school site responses. Our senior citizens sometimes might get overlooked. Our pets, if you're at work 20, 30 miles away and a catastrophic event happens in your neighborhood and you can't get home, what is your backup plan for your pets and for other issues that you might have at home? Those are things that you need to think about on a day like this, because it's beautiful today. It's going to be a high of about 80, clear skies,
Gorgeous.
clear sailing, gorgeous day. You don't think about tornadoes and floods and tropical rainstorms that come and set on us for several hours and dump inches and inches and inches of rain on us in a short period of time. But today is the day that you should think about that.
And you brought up another good point, because you said, it might happen during the day, it might happen while we're at work. We've talked about families, you talked about schools and students, but businesses as well. You have to plan for your employees. I mean, you're responsible for those peeps when they're there at your location, so they need to have business continuity and emergency plans as well.
Absolutely, and this site at Ready Georgia can cater that as well. And you hit a good point, and we were talking before the program here that in September here locally, our residents will remember the flood of September 2009. And I had made the comment to you, to the both of you actually, that had that happened at 2 o'clock in the afternoon rather than in the middle of the night, some of the results might have been different for people that say work in Atlanta. They might not would have been able to have gotten home that day. And who would have taken care of your family, your kids? That would have been about the time school would be getting out. What is your contingency plan? Ready Georgia puts that on your radar screen, puts you in a situation to where you write it down. Our cell phones, what if the cell towers were knocked out and cell service was very poor? Those phone numbers that you depend on every day that you do not know might come in handy if you've got them on paper in your wallet.
Greg, I know you work very closely with the local emergency management folks and all the local law enforcement and fire and rescue folks, but how often do you meet with the folks maybe on the level of GEMA or even possibly FEMA?
Probably about 3 times a year. We have recently been working with the Douglasville Police Department, updating our issues related to emergencies and this type of thing. Been with a public works aspect with the Maintenance and Sanitation Department at the City of Douglasville. We're obviously not a first responder for emergencies, but when you're talking tornadoes and floods, we're right there, boots on the ground, all hands on deck, trying to open roads up and deliver the services and help people as soon as possible, as the City of Douglasville did in 2009.
And Greg, I know that you take great pride, especially in opening the roads up. I know that just a month or two ago, I remember seeing a post from you on Facebook about how quickly there was a tree, I think, that was down across I-20 that was caused I-20 to be blocked. And I know that you took great pride in that, how quickly those folks got out there and got that tree out of the way, got the situation solved, and we moved on.
Absolutely. Interstate 20, that's our main driveway coming into town. It leads right into our front yard at the City of Douglasville. We gain nothing. The passers-by through here gain nothing if they have to sit for 3 hours. Our goal with the Douglasville Police Department and the Douglas County Fire and Sheriff and the City Public Works Department and Maintenance and Sanitation Department is to get any thoroughfare opened as soon as possible, as safely as possible.
Let's talk for 1 second as we kind of wrap up here about the types of natural disasters. We've mentioned floods, we've mentioned tornadoes, but there are other types of disasters that we need to be prepared for, not just for Mother Nature's disasters, right?
Absolutely, and to that point, tornadoes, isolated flooding. Douglas County is a very hilly terrain. One area may be flooding and another area totally unaffected by it. We don't get mass flooding necessarily, but there are other things that could potentially affect us. The winter storms.
Right.
That's the one where I personally learned a lesson to keep at least a half a tank of gas in the car, because when you're having to use extra gas with the tires spinning and that type of thing, you run out of gas, now you're on foot. You need fuel in the car. But there are other events that are bigger than our public works department. Our role is a little more to the back on things like a terrorist type threat, any type of man-made emergency like that.
Right.
Those would be unfortunate. We know they do happen, unfortunately. Our City of Douglasville Police, the Douglas County Sheriff, the Douglas County Fire, they are some of the best well-trained people that I can tell you about.
Greg,
right.
sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Greg Roberts, thank you so much for joining us today. And when we come back, we're going to be joined by Miko and Kamiko. We'll let you figure out who Miko and Kamiko are. But first, let's go to the community calendar.
Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Interactive Community Calendar. I'm Kelly Hunter here at Arbor Place Mall. We do this the last Tuesday of every month, and it's at 12 noon. This is your opportunity to take 30 seconds to spotlight your activity in the local community. Today I have with me Athena Bryant with the Bank of North Georgia, and you're also representing the Chamber of Commerce, which is very active here in Douglasville and Douglas County. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm here today. We have our annual Golf and Tennis Classic coming up with the Chamber. It'll be held September 25th at Mirror Lake Golf and Country Club. We are still looking for sponsors and also people to play in the tournament. It's great for your business, great networking. You have a chance to be in front of 400 people outside, not in the office. Just a great, great event, great fundraiser for the Chamber. If you're interested, you can always contact the Chamber. Their number is 770-942-5022. Thank you.
Well, it's always a great fun event. They do this on an annual basis.
Right.
And you're, like you said, it's a great opportunity for businesses to network, businesses to get the word out about what their products they offer, what services they offer the community, and just to begin to network with different businesses in the area.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful event. Everybody has a good time, and the money goes for a very good cause.
All right, for our chamber here local.
Absolutely.
And you know, that's what makes our community strong is our local businesses as well.
Right.
Athena, thanks for being with us. Tell us one more time the date, and if we have golfers out there in the audience that want to put together a golf team, we have maybe some businesses that want to have their business sponsored. Where and who can they contact?
Okay. The date is September 25th. It will be at Mirror Lake Golf and Country Club. We are still looking for sponsors. If anyone's interested, you can just contact the Chamber. The phone number there is 770-942-5022.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All righty. And you know, each and every month you can join us here at the Arbor Place Mall in the food court area for the Interactive Community Calendar. We want to help you promote the organization and the events that are happening in our local area. We'll be back with more City Connector.
Welcome back to City Connector, and this is going to be a fun segment, John.
You're not kidding.
I'm telling you what. We have Miko Bursich, who is the athletic director with us. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And we also have Kamiko Lawrence, who is one of the program directors out at Hunter Park, and you are a yoga instructor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And we're going to be talking about National Yoga Month as well as a lot of other cool things. Now, just so y'all know, I tried to get John to volunteer for yoga moves, and he turned me down.
Well, actually, there's an alternate plan. See, Bennett Oliver was scheduled to be here today. Bennett Oliver is a little up in age like I am, so he probably shouldn't be doing these kind of things on camera. So instead, Bennett sent Miko, who's much younger, much more athletic. So Miko is going to demonstrate the yoga moves for us today. What do you think?
Worst case scenario, if need be, I can be there. I'm the go-to guy.
Look at
appreciate
that.
that.
He is all things.
I'll take one for the team.
He is all things. All right. So let's talk about National Yoga Month.
Yes.
First, I have to be honest, I didn't even know there was a National Yoga Month.
Yes.
So how long has this thing been around?
It's been around for a few years. I mean, at least 5 years we've been celebrating National Yoga Month, and it's just been very exciting. The awareness around yoga has been increasing and increasing every year. And I just want to say, I want to bust a myth right away. Because already you've asked someone to demonstrate some incredible move, and people are thinking, oh, I got to like do something major. And I will just say that John, Lee, Miko, anybody, yoga is for everybody. That's my mantra. It's for everyone.
So I don't really have to like stand here and wrap my leg around the back of my head.
Absolutely not.
And we don't have to do any of those long poses where you just hold them there for several minutes. I can do that very well in my recliner, though. My recliner, I can hold a long pose.
Not unless you want to, John. Not unless you want to. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about who yoga really is for. Because I know that certainly, and I have to say, guys, especially among men, I often hear, hey, that's not for me. I don't need to do the stretching. So let's just talk about some of the groups, maybe seniors, kids, men, and how yoga might apply to them.
Yes, absolutely. Of course, there are various populations of people around the world. Seniors, as you mentioned, kids, pregnant moms. Even there's yoga for pets, believe it or not. One of the classic moves in yoga called downward facing dog was inspired by dogs who naturally stretch in a particular way. But yoga can be tailored to meet any of these needs of groups, athletes in particular. So, for example, if there are, for the basketball players and football players of the world, many of which professional teams have yoga instructors because they understand the great benefits that yoga and strength training and the flexibility can offer. So, for the particular group, example, if it were seniors and seniors have limited mobility and don't have the capacity to balance and do certain things, we practice in a chair. There's something called chair yoga.
We were going to get back to the chair.
It can be
that was his plan all along.
It can be tailored to the needs of the specific person.
That is great. That's great. And as an athletic director, I would think that you obviously could see the benefits of the stretching and.
Oh yeah, I mean, in any
strength.
athletic event, you definitely have to stretch and get loose and warm your muscles up. And I guess it'd be more of an isometric exercise. I was watching the Little League World Series this weekend, and have the kids what their favorite sport is, their favorite hobby, and believe it or not, one of them was yoga.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have put that out there as a 13-year-old kid, but he did, and he went into it, and he does it with his mother, and, and his mother's his coach and teammate, so that was pretty entertaining, exciting, and everybody does do it.
Yeah, there are a lot of coaches, I guess, that, as you were saying, that really rely on that for strength and flexibility. Now, some would think, well, I would think that I could possibly stretch something maybe too far or something and maybe get injured actually doing yoga, but it's probably actually the opposite, probably keeps me from getting injured doing other things?
Yes, absolutely. So yoga is an excellent complement to any athletic exercise that anyone is doing. I will say that it's very important to work with a certified yoga instructor because a certified yoga instructor has gone through a series of training that can, would work with you appropriately. For example, if you're a person who has a back injury, or if you have high blood pressure, or you have some limitation in your personal body, the yoga instructor knows how to adapt to meet your physical needs. So yes, and if you are a football player, baseball player, a swimmer, tennis player, et cetera, and so on, practicing yoga and offering that as a complement to your sport is definitely, without question, scientifically proven going to enhance your athletic ability.
I love it. There are a lot of benefits to yoga, and I kind of joked about it earlier. I'm like a little neophyte to yoga, so there's a little bit of it that I do, and I'm not demonstrating anything, so nobody asked me that. Nobody asked me that. But I find that for stress relief, if I have pulled a muscle doing something else, like maybe in Zumba or some other cool thing, I know you guys have those kinds of classes too. Better breathing, flexibility.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think of what else. I think it's good for your core. Posture.
Yes.
All kinds of great benefits.
Well, linking breath and movement is the key, really, to a yoga practice. It's tying the breath into the pose that you're moving to. I'll give you a great example. Typically, when people are stressed, you breathe from the upper body. You're not breathing deeply because you're not consciously aware of your breathing. You're so focused in the moment of stress or what is stressing you out, right? So yoga helps you to calm down. By you calming down, for example, you calm down your nervous system, and this just works for everything that's involved. So whether you're a CEO, a newscaster,
Right.
you know, athletic director, just I believe every walking, non-walking, breathing human being can benefit and experience great benefits from the practice of yoga.
That is wonderful.
Yes.
All right, Kamiko, we're sold. Where can we do this in Douglasville?
Right.
Yes, awesome. You can find me at Hunter Park currently, right now, leading class there twice a week. We have a Monday evening program, and we definitely want to increase our programs there. But right now, we're Monday evenings at 7 p.m., and we're also offering a Friday morning class for those who may work from home or have more flexible work hours at 9 a.m. on Friday mornings at Hunter Park.
Well, let me tell you what, I think it's fabulous that the city is offering this kind of activity. I think that it might not be listed maybe as a traditional type of activity at a park like that. So just real quickly, as we kind of wind down a little bit, what made you decide to offer something like yoga?
Well, whenever we have our programs at our facility, they approach us. You know, they know who the market is out there. They may do these lessons or programs at other facilities, and they have a clientele, or maybe they've started it at home. Now they have, you know, a safe place, a nice facility, a brand new facility in the city of Douglasville that they can come and, you know, bring their kid, and the kid can play in the playground and be in a nice environment while the parent participates in the program. So.
All right. Well, I have one last question before we close out. You know I'm going to ask it. So is that whole little crane thing in the Karate Kid, is that really a yoga move? Wait, hold me up, John. Is that really a yoga move or not? It's not, is it?
Well, it is. It definitely has some yoga elements involved in that move. A little bit of Tai Chi, but you know, the balance, most certainly, yes, is something that you can learn and practice and develop. You can be a Karate Kid too.
All right. Well,
Gentlemen, next time we have a little yoga demonstration, can you move our set a little bit further that way so we're not so close to the edge?
Yes.
All right. Well, National Yoga Month, once again, wonderful activities going on with the city of Douglasville. So Kamiko and Miko, thank you so much for being with us today on City Connector.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks
you for
for
having
having
us.
All right, John, we'll be right back.
Song means a lot to me. It's called I Have Yet to Earn My Wings. I'm a Copenhagen addict, Mossy Oak fanatic, and on Saturdays I can get a little loud. I love my guitar, and I still got my scars from being way too proud. And heaven knows that I ain't perfect, and God knows that I've tried. I love my cold beer, but maybe next year, yeah, I'll walk the line. But until then, I'll say I'm sorry. Guys like me don't learn a thing, and it's hard to shine in dirty water when I have yet to earn my wings. Well, I've got a hard head, that's what my daddy says. I hope I've made him proud, 'cause I've got a big dream where I can play and sing for my food. Whether it's tips on a stool or for some kids at school, as long as I'm on stage. And heaven knows that I ain't perfect, and God knows that I've tried. I love my cold beer, but maybe next year, yeah, I'll walk the line. But until then, I'll say I'm sorry. Guys like me don't learn a thing, and it's hard to shine in dirty water when I have yet to earn my wings. You may not understand, but for guys like me, we're all sinners with a good heart, just trying to earn our wings. I'm a diamond in the rough, yeah, that's not hard to see. I'm an angel with no halo, just trying to earn my wings. But until then, I'll say I'm sorry. Guys like me don't learn a thing, and it's hard to shine in dirty water when I have yet to earn my wings. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to City Connector, and we have a great segment right here. We've got council members LaShawn Burr-Danley and Sam Davis. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you.
Wonderful today.
Welcome. And Omar Daniel, and we're going to be talking about the Vineyard Street Ball Classic. How are you, Omar?
I'm very good.
All right, so first, let's talk a little bit about some of the activities that you folks are doing to support, well, this type of stuff in our communities, because I know a lot of times you're out there, you're supporting programs, you're sharing resources and that type of thing. So talk to us a little bit about what's going on in your wards.
Well, thank you. I share the ward with Councilman Davis. We are in Ward 3. So it's a super ward, and Councilman Davis is the chairperson of Parks and Recreation. So I'll yield for a moment and let him start as far as his chair.
Thank you, LaShawn, and thank you for having us today. And with me being the chairperson of Park and Rec, it's very important that we bring awareness to the neighborhoods and to the recreation departments. And we got a lot of kids that really love to play sports and exercise. So that's why Omar here today.
All right, well, wonderful. And so, Omar, let's talk first about what the Vineyard Street Ball Classic is. And I'd love for you to share with the folks how you got all this started.
Okay, thank you, Lee. The Vineyard Street Ball Classic is an outdoor 3-on-3 basketball tournament that I've been hosting for the last 11 years in Massachusetts. I moved here in 2005, and I've been coaching at Deer Lick Recreation for the last 5 years, and I saw the need for outdoor activities.
Right.
I'm from New York. I played ball outside, and we have 3 parks here, and I want to be able to utilize those parks. So I brought the tournament here, which is a 3-on-3 double elimination basketball tournament outside, outside, for youth 9 through 18. They go through a series of double elimination games, and the winners, they receive a trophy at the end. We have music, we have vendors. It's a fun atmosphere. It's a family-oriented atmosphere, and it's something that is needed here in Douglas County.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because I know that we do have a lot of programs for sure, but this one I think is in some ways very extraordinary. What made you folks want to kind of get on board with Omar and support this kind of programming?
Well, actually, I met Omar about a year ago, and I'd seen him in the community. However, we had a chance to sit down and discuss his passion and his goals. And there are 3 parks currently in our ward. One is the Mill Village, and then we also have Jesse Davis Park, and then there's a park, Keith Park. So because Omar is definitely interested in outdoors, the need is very great. With focusing on health and activities outside. Unfortunately, when I grew up, I mean, this is not unfortunate, but when I grew up, we were outside all the time. Now, you don't see many children outside playing in the streets or in their neighborhood, not playing in the streets, but playing in their neighborhoods. You know, it was great. So when I pass by the Mill Village Park, there's a basketball goal there, and it is always, always packed. I mean, just the other day, I mentioned to Omar earlier, is I passed by at like 9 p.m. The court was full. Our goal in partnering with Omar is to, number one, make sure that the areas where our children and youth or individuals play are safe. So we have worked with Councilman Davis and also our park director, Bennett Oliver, in coming up with an inventory. And Omar actually supplied an inventory to me and to Councilman Davis, and then our park director, Bennett Oliver, has been working on that. So some things that we're looking at are making sure that the nets are, what would be the proper term, making sure that the nets are not broken or torn. Right. Also making sure that there are water facilities, proper lighting, and the list can go on and on. So that is how we see that we can partner with Omar, is making sure that the areas that our children and families are participating in outside are safe and comfortable for them.
And I think that's a great point, because you're not just, I think there's a second part to this, which is you're giving back to the community, and
right.
You're giving back to the city of Douglasville by hosting this event here. So tell us a little bit about how that works from your side, partnering with them.
Partnering with them, one of the things I would like to do is to bring the awareness to the community. We would like to form a citizens community partnership where we can have a committee and we can talk about the needs of the 3 parks and what kind of programming that the people want, so that we can go back to the councilman and councilwoman and we can get that going. One of the things, we have winter basketball, but we don't have spring and summer and fall basketball. And that's something that I would like to work with the city so that we can have all year round basketball. And so the kids can get better and better and hopefully go to school, go to college on a scholarship.
Right.
And the way they do that is to play year round. So that's the connection, and those are the things that we're working at and trying to make happen. We have 3 great parks, and we really want to utilize them and have activities for the kids to do. So that's the partnership that we're going to be doing.
Well, good. Well, I know there are lots of people that need to be involved in order to make something like this a success.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how someone can get involved if they either want to register, if they want to volunteer, if they want to sponsor. You have a lot of different needs that you're going to have met for this.
Yes. I have a website. It's vineyardstreetballclassic.com. We are a 501c3 organization in the community. I have a 3-on-3 tournament, which is October 12th. People can go to my website, vineyardstreetballclassic.com. They can donate their time. They can sponsor a team, or they can sponsor the tournament. Also, they can join my team. Everybody has a skill set. So we can talk about what their skill sets are and how they could be part of the team to help this be a reality of fixing the parks and creating program. I need refs, I need coaches, volunteers for setup, breakdown, concessions, all that kind of stuff. So just go to the website, vineyardstreetballclassic.com. You can click on the tabs, volunteers, donate, all that stuff. And I want to thank Lee because Lee designed my website. So it's a fabulous website, Professional Mojo. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll slip you that $5 later. That was a surprise, but thank you so much. All right, well, wonderful. Again, go on out and get that information. Now, if folks want to get involved with maybe what you're doing and other types of programs, they can just contact you, the council members, directly?
Yeah, absolutely. On the City of Douglasville website, our information is on there, our email is on there, as well as our telephone.
Also, I am around all the time in the city, and all those kids, I visit all the recreation centers and the gyms, and they all know me. So that's why I was so impressed with Omar.
Yeah.
Because it's free, right, Omar? Is it free?
Well, the tournament is not free. It's $20 per child. They get a meal, drink, and if they win, they get a trophy, individual trophy. What we would like is businesses in the community to sponsor a team. So if they sponsor a team, then the children can play for free. So we're looking for another 20 sponsors, and that will take care of a lot of the children that can't afford it. My price is comparable to road racing, road runners. My children do that, and it's averaging between $15 to $20. So we're right in the range of what Douglas County is offering.
Good stuff.
What about is the age limit?
The ages are 9 through 18. And we have 3 age brackets. We have a 9 through 11, a 12 through 14, and a 15 through 18. So that covers elementary, middle, and high school.
All right, and all of that is out at vineyardstreetballclassic.com.
VineyardStreetBallClassic.com. They can register, they can sponsor, they can see photos of what we've been doing over the years.
Volunteer, all of that.
They can volunteer, everything. So please go out there and like us on Facebook as well so you can get more information.
All right.
And the location?
The location this year, we've partnered with the Boys and Girls Club because it aligns with our mission, and our mission is to provide physical activities for youth, and the Boys and Girls Club is an excellent resource. We've utilized them in Massachusetts, and now we're utilizing Douglas County Boys and Girls Club. That is where the tournament will be this year, October 12th at the Boys and Girls Club.
All right.
So hopefully next year we'll have one of our parks ready.
Yes.
And we can do it outside.
Well, we look forward to all of that, and we look forward to a big success this year as well. Thank you all so much, and council members. Omar, always a pleasure. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Interactive Community Calendar. I'm solo today. Sarah Ray is out with a brand new little one, Avery, and playing new mommy. So Sarah, we're going to welcome you back next month, maybe even get a sneak preview of Avery with us. But this month on the Interactive Community Calendar, I wanted to take the opportunity to let you know of some big city events that are happening in the month of October. October the 18th on a Friday evening, we have the Hot Rods and Hops Car Show and Craft Beer Night in downtown Douglasville around the O'Neill area and down Church Street. If you like cars, motorcycles, antique cars, car show type events, this is the place to be. It starts at 4 o'clock on that Friday evening, October the 18th. And then on Saturday, there's a Pedal for Your Palate taking place in downtown Douglasville. If you're a bike rider, we've rearranged some bike rides for you on this day. There's a 5-mile family fun ride in the downtown scenic area. And if you're more of the competitive type, we've got you covered as well with a 25-mile or a 62-mile race happening that day. This is events that are happening in the local area, in the downtown area of Douglasville in October. And you know what? There's all kinds of events happening around. You can always find out here on the City Connector. You can find out on mycitytv.com, checking out City TV and our live stream of the station. And also a new feature that the city offers you is DouglasvilleCalendar.com. If you have some activities you want to get the word out that are happening, visit us at DouglasvilleCalendar.com, submit your requests there, and have it posted on a community calendar to let the area know what's going on. Also here on City Connector, the last Tuesday of every month at 12 noon, join us, and you can join us on the Interactive Community Calendar. We'll be back with more City Connector.
And welcome back to the City Connector on City TV. We've certainly enjoyed spending time with you today, but we're not done yet. We're going to talk with Taylor Stringfield, and then Taylor's going to play a couple more songs for us today. And Taylor, we certainly do appreciate you joining us on the City Connector.
Welcome.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I saw it as a great opportunity. I really got excited whenever I found out I got to work with you guys. Y'all did a great job with the Sons of Alice. They're great friends of mine, so I was really looking forward to this.
Well, wonderful. Well, if you saw that, then you know one of the first questions I'm going to ask is how would you characterize your music?
Well, you know, I'd characterize it as real country, coming from real kids like me that grew up Southern, you know, homegrown, doing what we do, you know, partying, hanging out, just having fun while you're young, you know.
That's good. That's good. You know, I love that because country music really does tell a story, and it oftentimes, you know, takes those life events like what you're talking about,
Yes, ma'am.
and brings it to the rest of us. So, do you write your own stuff?
Yes, ma'am. I write all my own music, and you know, I'm working with Alex Burley out of his studio in Waco, trying to get my album done. So, just hopefully it'll be out soon. You know, where everybody can hear it.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been playing shows since I graduated high school in 2012. I really started picking up shows, but I've been playing music my whole life. My dad, he was in a band, and you know, before I was even born, so I grew up listening to everything in the womb. So when I came out, I don't know, somehow or another, I just knew how to play the guitar, so, you know.
That's cool. So you picked it up really early and played all through school.
Yes, ma'am, sure
All
did.
right. Did you play with anything in school, or was this at home and with your friends in the garage, that type of thing?
Well, I did a few talent shows and everything like that. I had a band with my twin. I have a twin brother who plays drums, and you know, and then I'll jam with me and my family. My dad will play bass, something like that, and we just all have a good time. It's a really big part of our family, you know, to play music. So I'm really blessed to be, you know, where I am. So.
Wonderful.
Taylor, is there anywhere locally that we could hear you?
Yes, sir. I play at La Fiesta in Mirror Lake every Friday, and I'll be playing at Fiesta Azteca on Ridge Road in Douglasville here soon. So, but you guys can find out on my Facebook page, Taylor Stringfield Music. I'll post all my shows. You guys give it a like for me.
And we'll be able to find out on there when that CD is out and ready to rock, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good deal. Thank you so much, Taylor Stringfield. We'll hear from you in just a moment. And we thank you for joining us today. And Lee, I don't know about you, but I feel a lot more prepared than we were before we started today. We learned about preparedness from Greg Roberts. And we also got prepared for the activities with a little bit of yoga instruction.
That's right. I feel a lot less stressed as we're speaking right now. I intend to go home and work on some of that. It's been a great day.
Me too. We certainly hope that you'll join us. We are here the last Tuesday of every month starting at 12 o'clock here at Arbor Place Mall in the food court. And if you'd like to watch this program, you can watch it on Comcast Digital 22. You can also watch it on mycitytv.com, douglasvillega.gov. And if you live in Tributary, then you can also watch it on Tributary 3-1.
And it's also on YouTube and on Facebook, too.
Absolutely.
It's everywhere.
We're everywhere. And we'll see you next time.
This song I wrote called Power Lines.
Down the road way back in the pines, there's a well-known spot called the Power Lines, where we drink our beer and misbehave. And to the left there's a muddy creek bank where we first got drunk on our spring break, sophomore year down at the lake. We didn't care about money or the world. We just want beer and girls, young and wild. And we're singing the night away, singing, oh, 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 singing, oh, 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 and when the sun goes down, the fire gets hot. The beer's good and cold, so we pop our tops, drinking with friends and watching for cops. Wagon wheel blaring through the pines, knocking down no trespass signs, getting stuck and staying high. We didn't care about money or the world. We just want beer and girls, young and wild. And we're singing the night away, singing oh, 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 singing oh, 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 we're only 18. Please, officer, leave us be. We're only 18. Please, officer, leave us be. Yeah, yeah. We didn't care about money or the world. We just want beer and girls, young and wild. And we're singing the night away, singing oh, 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 singing oh, 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 singing oh, 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 singing oh, appreciate you. The song I wrote called God Bless Small Town Life. Whitetail bucks, sweet pickup trucks, and photographs from way back when. And at Dole's feed store, old men talk about corn and Friday night fame. And sweet Miss May sits on the porch and waves, and she sings about God. Yes, I love this crazy little town where I grew up and where they'll put me in the ground. And I wouldn't trade it for a faster paced ride, 'cause God blessed the way of the small town life. T-bone steaks and firm handshakes and moonshine after dark. And on Saturdays, the local band plays at the tavern in town. Yes, I love this crazy little town where I grew up, where they'll put me in the ground, and I wouldn't trade it for a faster paced ride. 'Cause God bless the way of the small town life. Yeah, maybe it would be better for all if the whole wide world could just take the day off and sit on a porch and drink sweet tea and spend a little time with her families and stop looking for the end and enjoy the ride. 'Cause God bless the way of the small town life. And yes, I love this crazy little town where I grew up and where they'll put me in the ground, and I wouldn't trade it for a faster paced ride. 'Cause God bless, oh, 'cause God bless the way of the small town life. Thank you.